Hey, it's Thursday, it's the Daily Dose, and here we are in chapter 11, the very sin that got Adam and Eve in trouble in chapter 1. You know what it was? It was pride. It was disobedience. They thought God was holding out on them. Like, well, why doesn't God want me to eat this? What am I going to know that I don't know now? And here we have here it is on repeat. By chapter 11, God, if you remember yesterday, the earth is destroyed by a flood. God makes another promise to Noah, and he says that's never going to happen again. Okay, never going to happen again. Next time, I'm destroying this place by fire. Okay, now here's what happens in chapter 11. The earth begins to repopulate, and all of a sudden, the sin of pride comes in. And pride leads to destruction. That's the lesson for today. We've been talking about lessons for us from real people of the Bible. Who is the real person of the Bible? It's humanity. Because the Tower of Babel, here's what happens in verse 4. The human beings say, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens." Why? So that we may, here it is, make a name for ourselves. They're so daggone prideful. Otherwise, we'll be scattered over the face of the earth. So they wanted to centralize power, and they wanted to build upward to say, look how great we are. And notice in verse 4, it says, "Come, let us." It has the same language. If you go all the way back to chapter 1 of Genesis, God broods over existence, says, hey, come, let us create man in our own image. They're almost so inflated with who they think they are that they use some of the same language that represents. It's godlike language in verse 4 of chapter 11. Now look at verse 7. If you drop down, here's what God says. Come, let us. There's a Trinitarian worldview. God says to the Father, or to the Son, and to the Spirit, come, let us go down. They wanted to go up. God comes down. It's just the supremacy of who God is, that he's infinite and being, and confuse their language so that they will not understand each other. All right. So what's the lesson? Pride will lead to destruction. Pride will lead to your destruction. Listen to me, there is no change or transformation inside of a human being without humility. Humility is the great precursor. It's the prerequisite for God to bring change in our lives. That's why it says in the New Testament, God opposes the proud. But what's he do with the humble? Gives grace and mercy. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be on the other side of God. I don't want God opposing me. I want God saying, yeah, here's grace. I want to grow you in my grace. So the lesson for today, don't be prideful. You're not God. God is God. Keep yourself in check. Monitor your heart. Live with humility and walk humbly before our God. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow, Friday, Daily Dose.